Russia really didn't have anything to stand up. And as we've said, I mean, the reality is Russia benefited more through luck and chance and, from the German perspective, misfortune than it did from any tactical presence. It's not to dismiss Soviet strategy, but the reality is they only got the time to develop that because of missteps by Germany. But they were missteps back to a point where almost out of their control or influenced by other allies of theirs. Japan had all the dice, and yet they still, for some reason, were like, yeah, we can do that, even though guys in their own military, well, specifically the Navy, were like, don't fucking do it. It was Yamamoto that even said himself that, yeah, you're effectively going to awaken the beast, you know, that's what they did.
Yup, they couldn't compete with our manufacturing power. Raised dead ships, kept pumping out new ships, and...
Well, I mean, the reality is America could have even sat back and said, yeah, okay, Pearl Harbor's lost. So what? I mean, it was really only the principle of we've got to stand up for us, for our ideals, that provoked a response. But in terms of what it did to America, I mean, yeah, it bloody nose of the Navy, but it was only one half of the Navy. I mean, that was just the West Coast. I mean, they still had the Atlantic Fleet perfectly capable. You know, it wasn't as if they brought the US military to its knees or begging to surrender or anything. I mean, it just caused a disturbance in the force. And as I say, if the Japanese suffered ever since, well, to be fair, as terrible as it sounds, the Japanese deserve to suffer for what they put a lot of people through. Although, I suppose, to say their population deserved to suffer is unfair. But that's exactly what happened. I mean, they basically got thrashed all the way back across the Pacific, and then the country suffered two catastrophic attacks as a demonstration of basically how bad it will get if they persist. And I mean, I laugh when everyone says, oh, did they need to do it and all of this, and it's like, yeah, you can take whatever moral grounds you want, but at the time, yes, you did, because Japan would have fought to every last man if there hadn't been an example set like that. And although it's unfortunate to use it as an example of good, the reality is that demonstrated to such a high degree the true capacity of nuclear weapons that that's one of the main reasons there's been peace ever since, at least on the big scale. And if anybody wants to question that, it would have been a hell of a lot different if Japan or Germany had managed to get those weapons first, because there would have been no mercy shown to anyone. Russia would have been melted off the surface of the earth, and you can guarantee London, and if possible Washington, would have been blitzed just as a demonstration of what's to come next. Anyway.
Sorry. I was listening.
No, it's okay. I just find it funny about Friday night. We're talking about like cheerful subjects. The struggle of the political system and the failures of man, so to speak. Or flaws of man, I should say. Yeah, the pattern thing, I mean, things like that are often interesting of how you know, the alternative timeline might have turned out if, say, Germany hadn't attacked when they did, or if Patton hadn't died, or
Or what if Hitler
yeah.
didn't declare war on America?
Well, that's it. I mean, you've got things like, I mean, I think America would have still declared
No,
war on Germany.
The Bush family was invested in Germany, if I remember right.
Oh yeah, but there was that paranoia about. I mean, yeah, just. I mean, probably. Whereas now, you see kind of Italian American as sort of an influence. Yeah, then it was the sort of German Americans, the German immigrants were seen as quite a significant, well, lobby. I don't want to say like a proportion of the population, but they were a voice that mattered. And I don't know, I think America would have probably said, right, that's it, so we've got to come in. You know, yeah, you had Irish news moguls and stuff who hated the British, and that was really the only reason why a lot of people didn't want to ally with the British too soon. Because of the old potato famine culture. But I think it was inevitable why it was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Japan was allied with Germany, so it probably would have been inevitable.
Well, you've got to remember as well that politically America wanted to join the war. It was kind of the Vietnam syndrome. It was nobody wants to be the president that has to bring bodies home. That's the thing. It's easy to declare war, but trying to justify it when people start dying is a headache nobody wants from a moral as well as a political perspective. It's hard to justify when your people are dying for somebody else's soil. But equally, you can go back further and say, you know, how would Germany have turned out if the French weren't such bastards in terms of trying to screw Germany over, instead of just accept that they've surrendered, it's a fresh start, instead of creating the animosity that allowed the Nazis to gain a foothold. And then, of course, you can go to Jutland. If the British shells had been working that day, the German fleet would have been massacred and the war would have probably ended a week later. So, yeah, there's all these little things where you sort of, it is intriguing to sort of think, well, where would it have gone if it had taken a left turn, or instead of a right, or a right instead of a left? I mean, look at Russia. I mean, imagine Russia didn't have its revolution, the aristocracy managed to suppress it. It maintained itself as effectively a backward, missed the Industrial Revolution, old school imperialistic dynasty. Would war have happened in Europe? Probably, but on smaller scales, more localized. What effect would that have had on America? Would America effectively grown on its own path? Would it have grown as big and as influential, not having effectively something to compete against? Because America went through stages of growth. I mean, first of all, it had to come to grips with governing itself, and then it effectively started to, well, it got to a point where it came into competition with the British Empire, and then after World War II, it then had to be seen as the protector making a stand against global communism. If that need hadn't been there, would America have grown as strong as it did, or would it have just grown big enough? Because I laugh these days when people talk about superpowers, and the reality is there's only one superpower. and it's America. America won the Cold War, and yeah,
I
there's
wouldn't
groups out
say
there that can
I don't
pose
even
a
think the Cold
threat.
War is over.
Well, yeah, it's more evolved. Um,
It's still the
but
same parties involved. U.S.
but
versus Russia and China.
but you see, well, China's only recent. I mean, China wasn't relevant until Clinton effectively allowed them to access world trade rules and have become the sweatshop of the world. Um, but it was the short-sightedness after the Cold War that allowed effectively Russia to make a comeback. I mean, the reality is, if Russia had been dealt with properly, and if the West hadn't suddenly said, well, hey, Cold War's over, everybody starts grabbing your weapons, cut back, cut back, cut back. Russia could have probably been balanced more so and steered more so. It's terrible to put it in that light, but that's the reality of it.
Oh yeah, before Putin, Russia was more
Instead
favorable
of,
to the West.
yeah, because what happened in Russia is almost a microcosm of what happened to Germany after World War One. I mean, it became the sort of welcomed with open arms to the freedoms effectively preached by the West, and then suddenly it became kind of entangled and suppressed, and that spawned bitterness, and out of
Wasn't it the
bitterness
West that
spawned.
kind of ruined it? I forget. I had read
Well, that's what I
a
mean.
bit about it, and
It
it was
turned
our
out as
influence.
User joined your channel.
yeah. I mean, the West basically screwed it up and caused Russia to sort of think, we're getting the bad end of the deal here, and of course that created,
The rise of Putin.
and yeah, it basically created a bunch of Russians that were like, fuck that, we're going to take control of our own destiny, and they've done it ever since, which is fair enough. I mean, why not? But of course, at the same time, you had the West still thinking that they were in control, and the reality is they weren't, and that's caused friction ever since. You know.
What up, Norm? I'm sneaking out for a cigarette break. I just lost my first game of the day. Woohoo!
Oh god. Well, at least it didn't happen on my watch. My divisions, I've been playing with Donut most of the week in divisions, and it's been a fucking disaster. Poor Sang had to put up with it yesterday. Everything I'm connected with seems to turn to shit. Go get something to eat, I suppose. Anyway, maybe I'll soon.
back YouTube and Twitch. Let's try to see if Tim wanted the division here. I guess not. Let's see what tiers he has. 200 and some battles, probably not much. New York, Bogan, Omaha. Nice okays.
User joined your channel.
Nope. Wodyo.
What's that?
So I was gonna upgrade my my like office PC, and I was just like, why don't I just upgrade my gaming PC and then take the parts out of the gaming PC and put it in my office PC.
Yeah, it was just seen in your post there on the forums.
Oh yeah. Oh, it is on here. That's the motherboard I was looking at. But it might be different if I go AMD route. Damn, supports DDR4 4000.
User in your channel timed out. User entered your channel.
Hola, user.
Yo.
User joined your channel.
Hold on.
What up?
No.
Warren, I run you off with the politic talk earlier.
Maybe a little bit.
What time was it over there? It was probably early.
12:30 right now. Oh, when you were talking, I don't know, 10:30. No, I was playing Kerbal Space Program and needed to concentrate.
I think I'm gonna play that a little bit today. I'm talking about it. Oh,
A
how about
20-year-old
Mega
won that Mega Millions, the 450 million Mega Millions was won by a 20-year-old.
So that money's gonna disappear quick.
Well, he could be smart, but who knows? Probably not. Seems like always the people that don't deserve it win the lotto.
It does seem that way.
He's taking the lump sum of 281 million. I hope he gets all his shit in order and, you know, financial advice and planning and shit like that.
Put that money to work.
You know, and I would definitely take the lump sum because, you know, the payout stuff, like
What are you talking about?
some 20-year-old won that Mega Millions from last year. Because think about it, if you take the payout, say over I think it's like 20 years or something, they'll give it to you. But can you really trust that the lotto's gonna be, you know, there in 20 years and still paying you and shit? What if something happens or whatever? So take that lump sum.
up there a little bit there.
Engine boost deactivated. There's your corpse. Nice.
What are you talking about?
Engine boost activated.
Alright, who makes the best cases? Go. PC cases.
Sorry, nerd.
User joined your channel.
deactivated. Fighter airman. Engine boost activated.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Maps full reverse. Whee!
Engine boost deactivated.
Okay, that would be my Intel upgrade. If I want Intel.
Stay alive, Nair.
Engine boost activated.
Shit, wasn't paying attention to chat.
Fighter returning to ship.
Torpedo reset. He might just drive on towards me. I might leave the base himself. I will, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm just trying to stay alive. I've only got 5,000 hit points. No, you died.
Who are you talking to, sir?
Liar.
They're gonna try again, but they're already in red because ground helium system today.
Engine boost deactivated.
Why is that card so expensive?
Games like that are rough. Do everything you can to win and still lose. By like 20, 30 points, 40 points, however much it was.
Action stations.
target. Engine boost deactivated.
Can you see what's in the channel there? I can see. What cruiser? Never mind, I see that lander. Thanks.
Damn, that's freaking crazy. I can't believe this video card is 800 bucks and it's 2 years old. No. Right.
Is it rank 70 before you start losing stars?
Oh,
12? Wait. Before you start losing stars?
I think it's any.
No, it's
Or
definitely
up
not.
to 15. It's up to 15.
I thought it was
Is it
12
not?
for
You can lose. You can lose stars at 12, but you don't roll back, do you? You just
Yeah, I guess.
maybe.
Smoke screen set.
I thought you lose
Oh,
stars at every level.
it's earn a star for each win, lose a star for each defeat past rank 20. That makes sense since I just got to 19 last night. Guess it's time to lose some stars.
Pyro, this video card is like 2 years, actually 3 years old, and it's still $800 card. Or it's on Newegg for $839.
Sorry, what's that? I just got back.
Wow, this video card, I'm trying to figure out why it's $800 something when it's like 3 years old.
Oh, it's probably just fallen by the wayside. It's probably still marked up as it was originally. It's pretty just been forgotten about.
I mean, the core clock in Boost Clock is actually better in my 980 Ti, but
Yeah, but you gotta
the
remember the
SLI,
processors of.
the SLI on this one's only 3-way and mine is 4-way SLI. What else did you say?
Well, clock speed's nothing more than that. I mean, it's kind of like comparing a Casio to a Rolex. They'll both keep good time, but you know, you gotta have the Rolex. It's the same with this. I mean, it might go faster in terms of cycles, but what it's doing with those cycles is probably not so efficient.
Oh, right.
I mean, I think that link has just been forgotten about. It's gone up there. There's sold so many, and then they've got like one left or something like that. And, you know, nobody's busy maintaining the link.
Engine boost deactivated.
But also, what you'll find with premium stuff is often companies are reluctant to mark them down because then people say, well, fuck that. If it's the latest one at full price or the last edition at like half price, I'll just take the performance hit and buy the last edition, yeah.
Are you an Intel guy or AMD guy? It doesn't matter.
Intel.
Intel all the way.
I just find them run cooler and quieter, and I mean, I used to use AMDs back in the day when they used to run hot and they were noisy and.
I just heard a lot of hype on these AMD Ryzen 7s or something.
Yeah, I heard they were having some issues.
Resin
Well-
is a substance. Ryzen is the CPU.
Ryzen, yeah, whatever.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's not really much between them in any regard, even cost these days. I mean, it used to be AMD on the cost grounds, but I don't think that's so much the case now either.
I'm upgrading my office PC, but I was thinking about just getting a better motherboard than I got in my gaming PC, and then just take that one and put in the office PC. These four in the blue are the ones that I'm upgrading. Obviously it says buy next to it.
I don't think it would make any difference, because you just get what you want. I mean, personally, I'm more of an Intel fan. But I appreciate the part that AMD plays, because I remember when Intel used to absolutely dominate. Like 99.x% was Intel, and yeah, it wasn't the end of the world, but Intel made a killing out of charging premiums because they could. Well, to be fair, the reason they could was also because there was like no contrast. I mean, the AMD clones weren't particularly competitive. It was only with the arrival of the Thunderbird chips that Intel suddenly got a wake-up call, and it was actually a competitor that could genuinely threaten them on performance grounds. You say this is an office machine, though?
Yeah, but sometimes I'll putz around and watch videos and stuff.
Well, it's just if it's literally an office machine.
I know, I could just get a regular motherboard with a...
Yeah, put the money into your game system and just make it even better. I mean, I know there's not really much more you could do with it, but or you can just save the money. I mean, I wouldn't really see the point of building two gaming rigs effectively if the other one's not even going to be used really for gaming. I mean, I know you can say, well, what if something goes wrong with the other, but so if it goes wrong with the other, you'll fix it anyway, so you'll still end up with two machines within a week sort of thing.
Yeah, I know.
And the difference is, if you have to buy something major in the future, it'll be better, it'll be faster by a marked difference rather than sort of two clones kind of thing, if you get what I mean. Or buy yourself a reasonable laptop, something that if you go away you can fold and stick in a backpack, you know, it's not... I mean, for the cost of that, you could get a good laptop and a second screen if you needed a second screen. In fact, the ones you got listed there are ideal. And then you've got a full system when you're at home, but something you can take away to sit in a coffee shop if you're into that kind of thing.
I know, choices. I don't even know what my head got into this. Guess I was just bored and like, hey, I'm gonna make up another gaming rig.
Well, I mean, I'm sitting here, I've got two machines here. I've got two i5s with 16 gigs of RAM, 24-inch screens, and I've got an i7 with 32 gigs of RAM, full SSDs. I kid you not, sitting in a carton, because it's a better machine by quite a stretch, but not better enough to be worthy of me shifting all my files and configure, you know, just basically making it my own, so to speak. Because I hate that. I absolutely hate doing that these days. It's not that complicated, it's just tedious. Shifting files and making sure your storage is where you want it, and you, just makes me cringe. I mean, that's why I wasn't focused last night, because I'm sitting here watching videos on this one, but I'm actually playing on my other one, but my heart wasn't really in playing last night, so apologies for that. I think that's because I've just completed that North Cable, so I feel I'm owed a rest or something.
Well, I mean, the other ones went great, the other battles.
Oh yeah, we won one eventually, but it's hard work. Not my part, I mean, just again, teams that don't want to die instantly. Christ, I did 2 battles. I mean, if you want to build a killer second machine, fair enough, but only concern is you've almost just completed your last one, so they're going to be the same generation.
I got an i7 6700.
Yeah, I just think in sort of 6 to 12 months from now, you'll seriously be thinking, oh, I fancy something with a bit more kick, but
Yeah.
what it would cost you is what you're going to spend now, kind of thing.
Yeah, I should just find a regular motherboard to power the other one, even if it was an i5 or something like that.
Well, I mean, it's still get capable processors, but you don't have to go for like
Anything
the
crazy,
awesome
yeah.
monster game and board for it. You know, you can get a commodity main board that's great, has expansion, has slots and everything, but isn't necessarily optimized towards super clocking.
And it's this damn freaking memory that's killing this memory drought or whatever. It's like, for the memory upgrade I want to do, it's going to be $400 just in the memory. And
Well, that's it.
I want to take the memory sticks that in this machine and put it in my office machine, because I'm going to need memory for that board. So I was thinking maybe just upgrade the memory on this rig that I got. And I got the power supply, so
Yeah. I mean, unless your office is like high-end video production or something, I'd probably say cut your losses a bit and make
not
your other
really.
rig better, or just hold the cash back until the next big upgrade comes out, and then you're instantly poised to splurge on it.
It's just one of those things of, if I don't want to go down a hall, walk down the stairs, and go to the other computer kind of deal, so it's there closer to like the living room and stuff. I could just pop on and look something up, and I always leave that computer on.
Oh, that's it. I mean, like I say, I've got 2 machines here. I've always first thing I do when I get home, turn both machines on, and one might literally sit there with an open web page all day long.
Yeah.
Or I'll be watching
Sit there
videos
staring
on
at the
this
damn
machine, and
screen.
the other will be just watching the ships bombing the harbour all day long. You know, it's ridiculously wasteful, but unfortunately, it's a habit you get into. I mean, if you want a monster machine in every room, fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. Just
Right. But like you said, it's throwing dollars away. I got freaking drywall and stuff.
well, I
up
say
in the
you'll
kitchen
build
I haven't
this.
done it.
Well, yeah, if you got things like that, I mean, obviously, they're probably more urgent and more necessary. But as I say, come 12 months from now, you'll have 2 machines where you'll be thinking, well, I fancy an upgrade. And it'll cost you as much again. Maybe times 2, because you might think, you'll end up like my guy, you'll end up just thinking, I'll buy things in quantity. I mean, to be fair, prices aren't going to come down now. Things are at kind of the base level, so what happens is what you get is just better. So 2 years from now, the processor graphics cards you've specified, their equivalents will be a lot better, but they'll cost the same, it'll be the same ballpark. Because that's how it works, it's all economies, they can't afford to make this stuff any cheaper. So you get more performance for the same price instead of a discount. I mean, memory is a perfect example. How much you got specified there? Where is it? 32 gigs for almost $500. I mean, I can remember when 8 megabytes of memory would cost you about 300 plus pounds, which would have equated to that price in dollars. Actually, probably more, because around that period it was, I think, about $1.9 to the pound. But you wouldn't run a pocket calculator on 8 megabytes around these days. I mean, look at the graphics cards, you got 6 gigs.
Yeah, the one I got is a 6 gig graphics card. That's the difference between that 970 actually, too. I guess that's a big difference. And I'm building machines like this at work for security stations. And I was just like looking at some of the equipment and stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, we don't freaking really need these just to run a couple cameras. Like, who the hell came up with this? Freaking GTX 970 cards and 1000 watts power supplies.
Well, it's because people I mean, the reason power supplies started to get big was because there was a period of time where people were running water cooling, and the only way to juice it was to have 2 separate power supplies, but that was complicated because of basically the power activation. You have to be able to switch it on and switch it off and all of that. Because obviously you can't expect your consumers necessarily to do things that are going to void warranties, so you'd have machines that basically had a power supply for the cooling plant and a power supply for the system. But by making bigger power supplies and now having cases that can accommodate everything, you can effectively power it off a lot. Also, everything's gone up in processors. While they become more efficient, they're still drawing more power. Their efficiencies come down mainly because of reduction in size rather than anything else. And also dual cards, that although it's quite a rarity now, I think a lot of people have fallen out of faith with ISLI. There are still people that run it. Well, run it for the moment. I think the NVIDIA's killing it off, actually, aren't they? I think they announced that they're not going to push SLI anymore or something.
Oh, they're pushing out SLI?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not certain, because somebody hasn't mentioned it. I saw a headline where they were basically going to stop providing it. Maybe they were going to stop providing it from like the mid-range down or something and keep it as an extreme premium. I'm not sure, but
Who do you like for memory sticks, or does it not matter?
Why is there the difference in the screens? Why is one 183 and the other's 209.99?
Oh, I bought
They
them.
appear to be the same screen.
I bought them at different periods.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's all the prices. I couldn't understand why you were buying two different screens, and when I looked at the details and they're obviously not different screens. So then I'm like, why are the same screens different price?
Yeah, eventually I would like to get a 4K screen and put it in the middle.
Well, you see, for the price you're copping out there, you
Yeah.
easily could.
I almost want to try different. I almost want to try the coast.